And welcome back to episode 16 of Valkyrie Flight. I am your GM, Bazag, and here we are. We're in the engineering of the USS Valkyrie and Akira-class Starfleet. So let's get into it and introduce our characters. Let's start with the chief of the engineering people, Sir Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Sir Boulevard. I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Mazaka. And wait, we're an entire Starfleet, the ship?
We are all of Starfleet.
You are in the Starfleet starship. Anyway, let's forget about this. Move on. Let's move on to the next character. Let's go for the science officer.
I'm Valkyrie, and I will be playing Lieutenant Commander Sedaris, as always.
And what about our captain?
Hey everybody, I'm Adcon, and I'm always playing the illustrious Captain Titichesco.
Not always, because sometimes you play the less illustrious Captain Harrison. But let's forget about that, because that is a completely different show.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
And let's think about our doctor.
Hi, I'm Sarah, also known as Skyship around the internet, and I am Dr. Kilani Jar.
Welcome indeed, and finally, but definitely not least, the Vulcan who can punch you in the face.
Phoenix Blue as Lieutenant Commander Safan.
And
who prefers nerve pinches because they're more logical.
Sure.
And he is our security/tactical officer. So let's jump right in with Lieutenant Commander Safan has just finished duty where he's relayed a prisoner obtained from the last episode onto a different Federation starship, and they're heading back to Narendra Station for full trial and all that information. And the Valkyrie is getting ready to go on its assignment that it was actually sent out for. So, but right now, Safan doesn't have particularly much to do, so believe that he and the doctor had things planned.
Indeed. Dr. Jar's is in her office, by the way.
Yep. I'll tap the chime.
Come in.
And walk into the room. Dr. Jar, it is agreeable to see you.
It's good to see you too, Safan. Have a seat.
Is this in the office or sick bay? Just to double check.
I'm in my office, but we can.
It's adjacent to sick bay.
It's adjacent, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it loaded, but I do have the office map,
Right,
so I probably should load that up next time.
Have you given? Okay, I think I have some avenues that we can try, some scans that I can do to see if there might be any sort of neurological or maybe even hormonal or other types of physiological reasons that you might be having issues with your emotions, as we discussed last time.
Excellent.
So I just have some tests that we can run.
Excellent. It is uncommon for Bendy syndrome to strike a Vulcan of my age, but not unheard of.
Well, according to my research, Bandai syndrome also has the effect on other people, which we have not seen. So, and it's very rare. So I would say that we shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet.
Agreed.
So I'm just gonna stand up out of my chair and gesture out to sickbay. If you wouldn't mind, Commander?
Of course, Doctor. There will not be a bicycle test involved this time, will there?
No. I gesture down to a bio bed. I go, just have a seat and we can get started.
Very well.
Okay, so as you run your tests, can you give me an insight or reason? I'll let you choose. Medicine. It will be a difficulty 0 check.
It was 6 one, half dozen the other. So, will any focuses apply?
Yes, you will have focuses on this one.
Okay. Alright. Wow.
Okay, so that was
that tricorder, it's a little malfunctional.
So as you
No batteries.
Shall we
Yeah,
perhaps
right?
try a different biopet?
as you scan this
The wand just hits the floor as the bed collapses.
yeah, you're not getting much reading out of
like this.
sorry, I need to remember because I got pushed to talk. I've been talking, but I haven't been pressing the button. So as you scan, you're not getting any information really from it at all. Maybe there's something wrong with the calibration, or maybe there's just nothing wrong with Safan at all.
I am going to... Can I run a different sort of scan? Like maybe like a neurological scan, or...
What I'm going to allow you to do is just to try and check the tricorder settings. So if you want to do a roll, let's make it a control medicine.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Yes. Let me just check your stats, see how you would.
My medicine's actually not bad.
All right. I'm gonna say give me an insight medicine.
Okay.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, so you configure the scan for a different type of scan and you can try again.
Okay. Alright. There we go.
Okay, that's much better. As you scan, you're reading some minor biological anomalies in your system. Nothing major, nothing that would interfere, or nothing that would really be noticeable. But and some of these anomalies probably would occur in like low quantities. In other.
So nothing statistically significant?
But there are a lot of them in this case. That becomes statistically significant, just the quantity of them. It's not that they are there, but there's just too many of them.
Can I put the readings like up on the big medical screen, and to see if there are any patterns to these anomalies?
This is a difficulty 0, so you can use the momentum to ask me any questions about the details of this.
And I was going to just butt in and remind you that while they're in sick bay, Dr. Zar gets a -1 or on difficulty on things, or is that?
Oh yeah.
Well,
The difficulty and tasks go down by 1 when you do them in sick bay when Dr. Zar does them.
Yep. That is true.
Well, it's already a difficulty 0 check, so.
Yeah.
I was just reminding.
That's true. Thank you for the reminder, because I had forgotten about that. It's the same with the engineers and engineering, I think. Okay, so we have 3 momentum to spend.
Up to 3. You don't have to spend all of it.
What was the difficulty on that tricorder roll?
The fixing the tricorder?
Actually, you would have 1 spare momentum from that.
Okay, so 4 momentum, including the difficulty 0 roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, I'm just going to look at the data, and see if there's anything, are there any patterns that I notice?
the patterns there are patterns. You as you go through the data, it seems they're all from your genetic study. You do seem to recall that all the anomalies are tied to the same sort of genetic area. They're all limited to maybe to a couple of genes within the Vulcan genome.
So it's genetic.
It does seem likely it's genetic.
Okay. Was that one of my questions? Oh snap! I'm bad at this.
That's one down.
Okay, one down. All right, and then okay, so can I isolate the part of Stefan's genetic structure that we're looking at?
Yeah. So just what do you want to gain from the analysis? I
just want to see if there's a genetic anomaly, if there's maybe some sort of genetic condition or something.
Okay.
That maybe Stefan got from his parents or grandparents or something.
As you focus in on that area of genetic information, you start to realize that it's not actually Vulcan. There are a couple of genes here that are definitely Vulcanoid, that are close to being Vulcan, but they're not actually Vulcan. They're something else.
Can I run a scan to see what kind? If they're not Vulcan, then what are they?
Using the third momentum spend, you're pretty sure it's Romulan. From your analysis, you are sure that there is some kind of Romulan ancestry in Stefan. It's not. It's not altered DNA. It's how you would expect it to come.
Yeah. Can I tell which which ancestor it comes from?
From the amount of DNA, you would say it was from a grandparent. As far as which grandparent, you would have to use the last momentum for that. I'll give you the.
Do you guys mind if I use the last momentum? I don't need to, because I think. Or should we save it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mind.
Okay, alright, let's spend that last momentum.
I believe it was your maternal grandfather? Or
Grandmother.
Grandmother.
Let me check my notes.
Wait, Stefan's known this all along?
No.
Out of
No, I meant
kidding.
the out of character notes. But let's carry on, and I'll correct if I need to.
Okay, so we'll say it's maternal grandma.
It's gonna inform my next line. That's the only reason why.
Oh, okay. In that case, give me just a moment here, because I have it written down. Oh, word. Why do you have to be a pain in the butt now?
Dramatic tension.
Dun, 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 dun. Not quite that level. Not quite best of both worlds.
Maternal grandmother, I was right.
Okay.
Tapath was her name.
Tapath. Okay. Alright,
To pathological liar.
wow.
Don't talk about my grandma, you don't know her, and apparently why?
So, I'm going to just kind of look at the readouts and collect my thoughts, and I just turn to Stefan, trying not to betray anything. Just talk to him and be like, what do you know about your maternal grandmother?
interesting question, Doctor. She disappeared before my birth. My family presumed her dead. This would have been around the time Vulcans and humans and Andorians signed the Federation Accords.
Right. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, but your grandmother was not Vulcan. She was Romulan.
An eyebrow raises up toward Safan's hairline.
I know that's probably a lot to hear, but it's possible that your genetic structure, your genetic makeup is perhaps informing your neurological ability to control your emotions. At least that's the hypothesis I have right now. Obviously, it's just a hypothesis, but it could be a significant factor.
You are saying, Doctor, that I am part Romulan.
That you are 1/4, yes. Although there are Vulcan hybrids that have been able to master their emotions very well. Ambassador Spock is a famous example, but if I recall the history of Romulans and the fact that they came from a shared violent ancestry with Vulcans, it could be part of the reason you're struggling.
I see.
Now, that isn't to say that there isn't anything that we can do. There are various therapies, techniques, medications that could all help. I can send you a list of different types of therapies that I can perform, different medications we might be able to pursue. Actually, one of them is Vulcan neuropressure, but that is up to you.
Doctor, forgive my bluntness, but none of these therapies will remove Romulan genetic traits from my blood.
No, but they can help you. You know, there isn't any harm in trying. And just because you have a genetic predisposition doesn't mean that you can't achieve full control. Like I said, you know, there are Vulcan hybrids that are less Vulcan by genetics than you are, who have been able to do so.
I will need time to process this, Doctor.
Of course, at your own pace.
If I may take my leave.
For sure.
And Safan walks out.
And Kalani just takes a pad and kind of taps it in her opposite hand. Goes back to her office.
Okay, so I also believe that the Boulevard and Adcon had something planned as well.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe you've been talking about it with me for like a week and a half.
so how would you guys like to start this?
Who wants to set the scene? You or me?
Well, you should set the scene. It's your damn scene.
Alrighty. So we're actually kind of a side I guess a side office of main engineering.
So we'll head back to engineering then.
What we're actually seeing is let's see, is Kachara a lieutenant?
I believe he is a lieutenant.
Okay. Yeah, so we actually see Kachara.
He's lieutenant commander because.
Oh, he's an LT. He's an LT commander.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant commander.
He isn't a lieutenant commander on this ship. Good God.
Well, he's second in command of engineering. That's why.
Okay. But yeah, no, we see him. We see him actually opening a locker and pulling out some stuff. I'm probably putting it back in some stuff. Might be just changing stuff around. And it shuts, and there's the captain leaning up against the wall on one of the other lockers.
Oh, Captain.
Hey there, Kachara. Just want to talk to you for a second.
Okay. Have I done something wrong, Captain?
No, not really. As you probably heard, I recently made Commander Mizaka. I'm the second officer.
Yes, I've heard that.
And I was surprised when he put himself up for the position.
Well, he didn't. I did.
Yeah, I noticed.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't do anything if someone didn't push his ass out the door.
I get what you're coming from, and I appreciate it. But I think the man maybe think about time for him to start making his own decisions. Yeah.
We would have to start making decisions.
Next time you pull shit like that on my ship, don't get caught.
So are you planning to tell anyone?
What do you mean?
Oh, but you're not telling people.
About?
Okay, so Kachara leans in and whispers something in your fucking ear right now.
My hand slaps over his beak.
Ow.
You're like just kind of holding it close, like you would cover someone's mouth. Lieutenant Commander, I would advise you that any title you refer to me as be Captain. Just so we're clear. And you should like, I don't want to get too ridiculous here, but if I'm looking at him sideways, there should be like the kanji of death above my head.
Considering that Kachara is like a foot taller than you, it's more like he's looking down at this and you're holding your hand up really high.
Well, I mean, at this point, we're getting like ridiculous, like, you know, I'm like larger than life at this point. But yeah, no, it's absolutely
he just looks around and nods.
Good man. I pat him on his shoulder. All right, I will see you out there, and I'm looking forward to those reports. See ya. And I walk out the door. After getting him the double guns.
My captain is very weird. That's it.
Alright, so...
That's it.
Alright, so the orders that you had received were to investigate a planet. Apparently it has a pre-warp civilization, but more than that, there are electromagnetic eddies within the atmosphere of the planet itself. Normally, the planet's magnetosphere, which should protect it from anomalies actually entering it, but here we go. So it's a good. You've been given a number of directives on this mission. One, to find out what's going on with the magnetic eddies. Two, to try and do some cultural anthropology on this pre-warp race that's there. They haven't seen any details, or there isn't much known about them at all. So they want to try to know how they interact and know what kind of role how they deal with the eddies pretty much.
Ooh, good old-fashioned culture study mission.
As well as, to maintain the Prime Directive.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Science! Science!
So that is the extent of the mission, that parameters that you gave. The planet's just a couple more days away, and then you're ready to
I said there's nothing else anyone wants to do. We should probably cut to the planet.
Are there any preparations or any things you want to do before you get there?
Yeah, we left the station. I think we're all good.
I don't suppose we have access to the stealth suits that they used during insurrection.
There's an issue that those may not be of use within the magnetic eddies.
There's also the element of those may not be official Starfleet gear.
Oh yeah, I think they're Sona suits.
No, they're actually Starfleet gear and they're used in anthropological missions, but they're given out on an as-needed basis.
And apparently we don't need them.
Yeah, these unfortunately.
Yeah, those are only for in-depth anthropological survey missions.
This is more of an introductory mission more than anything. You are gonna need to interact with these people to learn about them anyway. So as far as the mission goes, they're not needed.
Oh, so is first contact authorized, or?
No, it's a pre-warp civilization, so you'll have to try and maintain Prime Directive, but you're gonna have to try and find a way to still interact with the species while maintaining.
We're pulling a Riker here, basically.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna go get under the knife and go hang out down there for a day.
From First Contact, not the movie, but the TNG episode.
Yeah, good thing I just watched that this weekend.
I don't think it's gonna be me.
It can't be me either.
I mean,
We have the tail mop.
but what do they look like? Like, what is like the most? Who are they? Do they look like human-ish?
That's a good question. Yeah, do we have an idea of what their physical characteristics are?
You don't actually have much information about them at all. You don't really know.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
So in other words, someone just took a long-range scan and no one's actually bothered to come out here, and we're number one.
Pretty much, yes.
We are number one.
That's our job description.
No, I'm number two.
You do have the Pathfinder mission profile. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Come on, people, this is our job. Let's do this.
We should probably figure out what they look like.
Science!
Let's get to that planet.
All right, so
Warp factor 9.
Warp factor 7.
Okay, apparently I didn't
No, I'm
create a
picking this up to
system.
11. Salamander time.
We don't have the variable warp field, I think.
So apparently I didn't actually create a system map for this, but you find so where the planet is going to be it's actually going to be the first planet in the orbit. There's a couple of gas giants, and surrounding the whole thing is a giant asteroid ring.
The first thing I like to do is probably drop out behind one of the gas giants, just in case they have any sort of longer range scanning equipment.
Okay.
For typical, for typical survey of a pre-contact civilization.
Just for last, can I get your helms person to do a control con check?
Oh wow, that's me. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Cameron Alvarado's first roll.
Yay!
He's been so quiet until now. Alrighty, what am I rolling?
Control con
Control con.
with engineering's con from the ship.
Okay.
I will roll the ship.
Sounds good. Let's see. I have helm operations. Is that a focus?
That will count. Yes.
Nice.
Wait, you said it was engines or structure?
Engines.
Engines, okay. Oh,
Crap.
And the Valkyrie's warp core explodes.
Third time this week.
It doesn't explode, but you get a bit too close to the gas giant, and some of the gases get into the system, and you're gonna have to try and clear out the system a bit before you're actually going to be able to go to warp again.
Well, Ensign Alvarado's apologizing profusely.
Probably to the very angry Cation glaring at him from the back of the bridge.
I mean, he's placed it perfectly. You're well. Apart from that, you're well shielded from the planet. It's just that you got to do something.
We got some sand in the engine. Now he has to go clean it out.
Mm.
Well, and aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's the play?
Oh, that's darker than I think it was. Alrighty. So, well, at least can we operate at sublight speeds?
Yes, you can still operate at sublight speeds without issue.
First thing I wanted to do was to instruct our scientific, our chief science officer. It's an official position. I made it now.
Nice, thank you.
Our chief science officer to give a survey scan of the of this system and see if we can detect anything such as any sort of long-range communication, such as radar, radio, stuff like that. Even just a quick glance on the subspace, just in case.
Okay, I will do the scan.
Give me a reason.
I'm assuming this is reason science?
Yes, and I still keep forgetting to put the push to talk button down, so it's a reason science, assisted by the ship's sensors science. So it'll be a difficulty 2.
And I promise to roll better on the assist.
And does my astrometrics or analysis or whatever apply?
I'm gonna say yes.
With the Pathfinder mission profile, does that difficulty get reduced by 1 thanks to the ship's sensors?
No.
Okay.
That's just determines our stats.
Yeah.
But you do have high resolution sensors, but it's balanced out by the eddies that are in the area that do play with the eddies. So if you didn't have that, everything would be a +1 difficulty.
Gotcha.
Oh, right. Oh, and there's no momentum. Okay, cool. I will just roll. 2
And
So somebody else is running the ship.
Allowed to roll for the ship this evening.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm not even gonna bother, like, I should just go for the night at this point.
Hey, it's like our very own version of Mala Rat.
So to the ship to help assist in scanning these things, accidentally, someone accidentally puts out a bit too much power in the sensors and basically does an active ping, which sort of what you don't want to do. Fortunately, there appears to be no kind of there doesn't seem to be any kind of high-tech thing in the region. No communications, no radio waves, no subspace communication, no subspace monitoring. Anything. As far as you can tell, even though the ping happened, they shouldn't have the technology to have detected it.
Well, that's saving grace. Also, I'm just gonna go on the limb. Anyone detecting any sort of, I guess any sort of psychic activity, just in case, anything telepathic?
I think we might need to be a bit closer in order for that to occur.
That's fair. Well, barring any more trouble from the ship, I look over at Misaka.
I just glare back and I go, yes, Captain, barring any more problems. I swear, it's almost like you pissed off my assistant or something.
Turning back to the view screen, let's take our end.
All right, let's do another con roll.
We're gonna head let's say probably at half impulse towards the planet in question.
Yep, let's do another con roll.
Alrighty, and somebody else roll for the ship, please.
Yeah, got it. What am I rolling?
Somebody else roll for the ship, please.
So for the ship, it'll be
No, it's
engines con.
Okay.
Come on, Cameron.
Where's the ship? Where's the ship? There it is. Engines con.
Should already be set up.
It wasn't. Because someone did a sensors roll.
Oh yeah.
Crit.
Okay.
Yeah. You keep rolling the ship tonight.
Nice.
So you get a momentum back.
Thank goodness, we need one of those.
And you make it glide safely in to whatever orbit position you want to be in.
Would you like me to take another scan now that we're closer, Captain?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will do a scan to see if I can pick up life signs, maybe get an idea of what these things look like, what kind of technology they have,
Okay.
composition of the planet, all of the good stuff.
You've
I also
got.
want to get a secondary scan of the star itself, see if it has any connection to these magnetic eddies.
Okay. Which one are you gonna do first?
You know, how about my chief science officer does the planet, and I will do the star.
All right. So.
There's a long pause, and Lasan gives you a very awkward look, and is yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if you wanted to do both, that's fine.
Oh, by the way, Cesareth, you can ask a free bonus question as you're the science officer. So if you want to know more.
I can wait. I just get giddy whenever there's a mission like this.
Can we just know the composition of the different planets in the system? How many there are?
So there's the 3 planets, one M class, which is oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, etc. It seems fairly Earth-like. The other 2 gas giants are one slightly bigger than Jupiter, and one Neptune-esque.
Nice. Okay. All right. I will. Captain, if you want to scan the star, you're more than welcome.
As long as I'm not stepping on your toes.
No, it's fine.
How no, it's fine, is it fine?
It's mostly fine.
Can I do an insight command roll to see how fine?
Do it.
I'm gonna do an insight sass roll to face palm.
It's basically, you know that scene in Galaxy Quest where it's I have one job. That's basically what you're reading.
All right, I'll wait.
Would you like me to scan the planet first, or would you like to?
No, go for the planet. Yeah, let's see what we're dealing with.
Alright, so I'll give you your xenobiology or whatever, xenoarchaeology. You have got one of those, don't you? Yeah.
I do not have one of those.
Okay,
I have analysis, I have observation.
Actually, so no, you're not going to have a advantage on this.
Can I actually... Let's see. Actually, I may have something for this. Oh wait, I have collaboration command. Darn it, I should have taken collaboration science. Because I actually have a focus on anthropology.
You could still assist with the roll.
Yeah, no, it's literally one of my doctorates.
Why don't you two switch?
I mean, again, I don't want to step on any toes.
If you do want to assist, Captain, I will let you assist.
I do have survival.
No.
No.
That's more of a security thing. Yeah.
I mean, the closest thing you
I
would
think
have
it
is
stretches, but-
analysis, but I think that's a bit too broad. It's not.
Yeah, that's fine. I should probably edit that so that it's more whatever. But
Oh no, someone's breaking up.
Well, that had to happen eventually.
All right.
Oh no, did I break up?
A little bit, yeah.
So anyway,
You're better now.
let's do a recent science roll supported by census science by the ship.
Okay, who's taking lead? I guess you're taking lead. That's fine. Oh, that's a one die.
That was for the ship.
Oh, okay.
If you wanna go ahead with your anthropology, I'll assist.
Okay, that sounds good. Because I used to do this all the time back in the day on the Amazon. Son of a!
Oh wow!
Wow.
I will. If you do roll, I will allow
I
you.
don't get it. Why do I keep getting crappy science rolls?
Well, at least I got one success.
Which
Yeah,
doesn't
but you
count.
don't get to use it because
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I'm assisting. Never mind.
That's it. I'm shutting everything down for an analysis. Something's wrong with our system.
Yeah, let's get a level 3 diagnostic going.
one of those freaking Iconian viruses, isn't it?
All right. If
We
you
have
give me a control engineering check, I'll give do a, let's say, structure engineering from the ship.
And then, would any of my focuses apply?
Oh my god.
Well, it's not exactly the ship's strong point. To be
I guess
fair.
I should have pre-rolled.
Let me just double check.
Yes.
Let me double
any of
check.
my- So ship design, computers and AI, transporters and replicators, EPS, warp field, or small craft.
I'm going to allow ship design and innovation since you're.
Okay.
It's a bit of a stretch, but
But we need all the help we can get.
you need all the help you can get.
Yes, and no, I'm not rolling goose eggs. So yay!
Okay, so first of all, you're able to repair the warp claw, but maybe there was some kind of issue with it, and the other systems that you weren't aware of, but as far as I can tell, everything now should be working as it should. Hopefully.
All elite.
Cameron's just like sulking at his post. Poor guy. Alrighty.
Now, Captain.
Can I make that roll again?
Let's actually swap the main roll around, and you do the support and Thesaurus.
Actually, I was kind of hoping to do it again so I could use my bold science.
Oh.
That ought to go well.
Wow.
Oh right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Just take everything away from me. It's fine.
No, this is personal now.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Let's roll.
But
I
not
am
the way
taking
you
a
think.
threat.
One more time. I mean, my inside's 8, so this is kind of in character.
All right, go ahead and roll. I guess I'll assist
Sounds good.
if I can.
Okay, that is
Wow.
much better.
Way better.
Okay,
Come
the
on.
ship can assist as well.
Since it's science, right?
Since it's science.
Well,
Okay. So, but that is a 4. The
no less from the
difficulty,
ship.
the difficulty was a 2, so you do get 2 momentum.
About freaking time.
Yay!
All right. So as you examine the planet, you're seeing a very lush forest heavy world. You don't see any signs of like industrial or like nothing has this planet has not yet gone through the industrial revolution. As best as I can say, technology wise, it looks medieval. There are stone castles, for a better word. and that's the only real major sign of civilization, apart from maybe like dirt tracks and other heavily worn traffic between places.
So medievals, stonemasonry. Are we looking at any signs of farming, or is it more just kind of? I don't know. It wouldn't be because they'd be kind of sedentary. What with these
Yeah, there is definitely farming and all that kind of thing. It's a civilization. It's medieval-esque.
So can we get an idea of what they look like? Their physical makeup.
Give me a momentum spend.
I get a free one. Oh, but I wasn't in charge.
You want the main role.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
Oh my! Everything I've designed my character around can't be used.
You're all space. I'm the only one with an anthropology focus on the entire crew.
As your scan data come in, it seems that there's actually quite a varied visual appearance. There's your stock standard humanoids, but they're humans. Seem human anyway. There doesn't seem to be any extra, any notable difference.
No rubber forehead?
No rubber forehead. But, well, for as a select group anyway, because there are definitely groups that do have, well, not group, like, that do have rubber foreheads, but they seem, there doesn't seem to be a specific species, like, there's not any consistency between these other people that you can get, and they, yeah.
Wait, what?
So there's a group of people that are just basically look like humans, but there's another group that are quite varied in their appearance. Some have, like, some maybe more plants, some maybe more animals, some, just weird looking, but they're all, how should I put it, there isn't a specific species link as far as you can tell between them.
So there's basically one of the many various, what are they called? Simultaneous evolution humans that seem to pop up from time to time in Star Trek? Are they just people who just look like human for some reason?
Yeah, they're people that look like human, and people that you have no idea what they are, but they aren't human, and there is nothing, like, with these groups, no individual that you've identified is.
Can we call the doctor up to the bridge for a more thorough scan of this? The secondary group that we've discovered?
Heyo.
I just have a question. When we scanned, did we detect if they were like an interplanetary, interstellar, like if they have any kind of off-planet exploration at all?
They described his culture as medieval at best, so...
Yeah, so...
However, if we got multiple species here, could we be possibly looking at someone from another planet crashed here? And now
that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Maybe possibly not so much traveling via ship, but maybe some other form of transportation.
So what, from your
like
previous...
Bajorans?
Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah,
we can.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, sorry.
We're talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah, we're actually theorizing.
Like, from what your astrometric scan, you have not detected any, like, refined metals or anything like that outside of the planet. There doesn't seem to be any kind of debris or stations on any of the gas giants, or as far as you can tell, in the asteroid belt. So, as far as you can tell,
Okay.
there has been no spacefaring by the civilization, and you don't see any kind of Actually, as you scan further, you do see metal ships in the air. But you
In the atmosphere, or just like low flying?
Like airships.
Like zeppelins?
Zeppelins, but fully made out of metal.
Oh my god, these are Led Zeppelins!
So these
Oh my god!
Mzaka just beamed into space.
so there's these pretty large chunks of metal from what your scans are telling you that are just hovering in the air.
That does not seem congruous with their seeming level of development.
I think if there is divergent evolution or something of the sort, they may have been seeded by another species at some point.
That's what I'm thinking. Is there any way you can find some kind of corollary or what am I thinking of the word? I want to see if any of their DNA has sort of identical parameters towards the DNA of wildlife and plant life on the planet, sort of like a human DNA shares between animal life, like 95% or something.
If only we had a genetics expert on the ship.
Well, we messaged you to come up
Well,
to
we've
the
got
bridge.
the
I am
captain,
coming.
right?
I'm coming. I'm there.
We're just theorizing while we're waiting for you.
Yeah, we need the doctor to get all these biology questions.
I'm here.
I passed the doctor a pad of all the data we found so far.
Okay, awesome. I'll be like, well, that's interesting. So you're saying that there's humanoids, and then there's a group of
Essentially, people who
very
are
eclectic mix.
yeah. So can we get a sampling of the wildlife? Like just sort of a quick scan. Like I just want to see if there's any connection between this and this eclectic group.
If you're gonna want to do a DNA scan, you're gonna have to get samples.
We have to go down.
Also, while we're here, can we do a scan? You said this planet was not plagued, but experiencing magnetic anomalies.
Yes, you do detect
I want to know if
those.
that's going to play any if that's going to do any that messes with one, if it messes with our scans, and two, if it's going to mess with our transporters.
Okay.
It is
So I wanna
likely
know,
going to mess with transporters. It's going to make it difficult from your experience, assuming these are, of course, the same kind of anomalies that are just generally in the expanse.
If this involves transporters, I am so damn assistant, because that's one of my focuses.
Could you do a scan and see if we can beam through that?
Well, I'm not a scanner. I'm an engineer. Someone else does.
You can show me what to look for.
Yeah, show her.
So this will be an
That's
assist.
my assist. So
So it'll be reason engineering for assist. Let's make it
And
reason science.
for me.
Yep.
No focuses.
Because you are analyzing whether or not you can send a. I'm gonna allow it.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
The difficulty will be 2. Oh, and by the ship will also give sensor science.
Okay.
Alright, sensor science coming up. Unless someone else.
Very nice.
Oh,
Let's go for it.
We're really gangbusters so far.
Yeah, you haven't had any crit fails like I have.
Oh,
And there we go.
Yay!
So another 2 momentum for you guys.
Very nice.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to have to turn push to talk off because it's messing with stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's fine. You're the GM. You're allowed to not be on push to talk.
Alright, so that is now much better. You can hear me, and the conversation in the chat will be able to hear me as well. As you scan, it is going to be a difficulty 3 check to beam through. It is doable, but it's going to be difficult.
Is there anything I can do to kind of ease up on the difficulty?
What if we brought pattern enhancers?
Oh,
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
so
That's good once we're down, but
so you can try and do some.
Can we send a probe down and then have that with pattern enhancers? So more innocuous?
We might as well just take a shuttle at that point,
Yeah.
because they'll see something.
There is the
Yeah.
problem of navigating a shuttle without being seen.
are we?
Right.
We could go at night.
Probes aren't that much smaller though.
Re-entry would be even brighter at night.
We can be.
Are
We can approach slowly.
So we're trying to do this without being seen.
It'll take a couple hours, but we can do it.
Hang on, I got an idea on how to do this. We go at night, but we do it over the ocean. That way, if they see us, it'll look like a shooting star.
A sound tactical plan.
I'm still confused as to why we don't want to be seen.
Because it's a violation of the Prime Directive. We can't show them that we have more advanced technology.
Right.
That is, if we're going to be doing this survey mission at all. Which is not exactly within our purview.
Just saying, you can definitely twist the directive to say of the anthropological directive.
Oh, I'm turning the rogues in, and that smile on my face that you can see in my character profile, I'm just sort of doing that kind of slide gritty going, I'm getting a very bad idea.
Captain, no.
I think I know what it is, she replies.
Who wants to go on a survey mission?
Me.
You're in. Okay, who else?
Oh, I want to take a look at those airships.
You're in. Who else?
I will go.
You will need a specialist in infiltration operations.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get an idea of what their clothing like. We're gonna crook it. Hell with it.
And of course, I will stay here managing the bridge.
Yeah.
Like always.
You'll get to go on the next one, Robeson.
I just look over the captain and shake my head. No, you're not.
Very nice.
I don't think many of us look like what's the term? A local?
Well, what we've gathered, it seems like a local can look like just about anything.
Yeah,
Any of them?
Except perhaps an Andorian.
And occasion.
Or a Delphinian.
there is enough fairy that you could probably do
We're foreigners from a
something.
different continent.
Do something to get rid of the major or pretend you're major confident. There is stuff around you can do it if you want to.
I'll put makeup on. It's fine.
Time for me to go shave.
Oh, no.
No,
Time
I'm
for
mixing
someone else
it.
to go unclog the drain after he shaves.
Right. Also, have you seen a hairless cat?
They're adorable. What are you talking
They
about?
are adorable.
They are, but
They're terrifyingly
but a
adorable.
large bipedal one. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
What you mean? Oh god, what's his name? Beerus?
Mm.
Dragon Ball?
Oh.
Never watched it.
That's fair.
Anyway.
No, from what I gathered, like this secondary group is so unusual. Like, you know, they're so non-standard that I think we could blend in.
I'm not very good at lying.
That's cool.
Vulcans do not lie.
So you two just shut up then.
Yeah, no, we got this. What about you, Doctor?
I've been known to tell a fib or two for medical purposes.
Yeah, all right.
Oh.
All right, let's get an idea of what kind of clothing that they have. First off, we need to pick an area that we're going to go to. I'm thinking somewhere that's a little bit of a trade port. That way, it's most likely to get foreigners. Maybe somewhere, you know, on the ocean or like a port.
There is a port that you could go to.
Yeah.
As far as
So-
clothing, it is very simple, basic linen, cloth linen.
Like robes.
Sort of, but I mean, you could easily wear robes, but the fabric itself is pretty basic.
So we're thinking like tunics and
Cloaks.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We could dress Mazaka up like Mike the Liar.
Mazik. Yeah. Oh, Maik. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Cation has wear if you have platinum.
Wow.
That's what he went as Halloween last year, huh?
You don't want to know what he went as for Halloween.
All right, so we're gonna get some period appropriate clothes. Let's see.
Maybe I should have something to cover my antennae.
Ooh, yeah, like a.
I don't like the feeling, but I'll do it.
A cloak.
I get the feeling like
Head wrap.
I think the three of us are going to be wearing hoods and head wraps for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the two of
If
you.
anyone asks, I got my head stuck in a mechanical rice picker.
Yeah, actually, so like Stefan, you can either go as yourself, or we could give you a little bit of cosmetic surgery. You could probably go as human.
He's very dot.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, never mind.
You know, when they say lower the ears, they don't usually mean it literally.
That's not what I meant. I meant it might be a good idea to have someone who these doesn't look unusual for the rest of us.
I mean, Dr. Jarrett just has to.
In a perverse way, Captain, I feel that would draw more attention.
That's fair.
You can also wear a beanie.
or some sort of.
Well, there's the eyebrows, but yeah.
No, it worked for Mistral.
Something tells me our cover story is we're traveling monks.
That
We could go as circus performers.
That also works.
That would also get us much more noticed.
As long as it's not the Critical Role planet, we would be okay.
The problem with the monks that we need a deeper understanding of one of the resident religions, and
If they even have one.
You're
at
assuming
this level of
one.
development, if one of their at this level of development, it's more than likely they're probably at least still in a religious state.
That's the thing, though. If we're picking a port city, we could just say we're from a country whose religion they aren't aware of.
Possibly, but it might be easier to go as simple merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Or simple tailors, perhaps.
Not
Or
quite
No,
that
no,
simple.
no, none of us have spoons on our heads.
Or refugees. I don't know.
Any signs of recent warfare?
It's hard to tell with this level of technology. You would have to actually, find dead bodies, and you don't really know where to look for that kind of thing.
Right. We'll go as merchants for now. If we need to change our cover story, we'll do it then.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, so let's get some gear going. Let's take a shuttlecraft. What do we got available? What are the runabouts? I'm thinking, the Irma?
Do we really want to take a runabout, though? Those are kind of big.
That's true, but I was thinking what we had stats for.
Not to mention, practically the entire bridge crew is going.
We can all fit in a Type 8.
We could, but we're going to be in there for a few hours. Because we have to enter that atmosphere.
Sit on someone's lap.
We have to enter that atmosphere slowly, so as to not, cause any re-entry burns.
No, that's why we're going in over the ocean.
Well, even still, with their obviously they possess some kind of flight, so it's best to just So I think we can get away with a runabout. Is it possible to modulate the shield so that they reflect solid light, or they reflect light? Sort of
That's called a cloaking device.
Out of character, actually, I think it is possible because in the original series, the Enterprise did it.
Yeah.
If you're limiting it to just visible light, you're fine. It's when you are trying to cloak yourself from every wavelength, including subspace, that you kind of run into cloaking device issues.
You got an episode title on that? Because I'm Trek checking that.
I'm pretty sure
there
there
was
was.
one of the time travel ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there also in First Contact there was like a reference something about the deflector dish.
Yeah, that was using it to block some like radio waves, radio telescopes that like. But I imagine they would also use something like that. But that also goes. That's part of the Temple Prime Directive, which is slightly different rules.
Yeah, and there's the way I had understood it is that you can use the shields to you can make yourself blurry basically if you do it. Like you can set it to you took a UFO picture. Oh, it's blurry.
What about, can we install a holographic interface
to make it look like one of their flying devices?
Yeah. Well, that will attract attention as we go into port, though, unfortunately.
Or I could just use it to do a pseudo cloak, you know that James Bond movie where they got the car that has the holographic camouflage.
I mean, even then, it's just semantics, and I think as long as we stick to only the visible light spectrum, we should be fine and not screw with the Kinnemore cords or anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
well, we're not going to MacGyver something that would break the Treaty of Algernon anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so our security expert, he would know. Or would we be able to retrofit a runabout to turn their shields into reflecting solid light without breaking any trees? Not solid light, the visible light spectrum. Oh, I always keep thinking solid light.
Baz?
Let's do a roll. Let's do inside security. No,
Okay.
recent security.
Recent security. What's my difficulty?
I'm just gonna make it 1.
Can the ship assist if he's doing any research on the computer?
Yeah, that would make sense. The ship can assist.
Alright.
That'll be computers.
Can my infiltration focus apply here?
You know what? Yes. So it'll be for the focus. Computers.
Yeah.
I guess not security. Command. Computers command. For the ship.
Sir B, if you could roll for the ship.
yeah, I guess I can roll the ship. What was the roll again?
Computers
Roll the ship and
command.
the ship explodes.
Computers command, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, needed one, got one.
You didn't get any more momentum, but you got the one that you needed. Yeah.
And I didn't break the computer.
You're pretty sure you'll be fine. With that, just if you stick to visible light, that as far as you're aware of the definition of cloaking device, why it does the same effect for.
Yeah. We would still be visible to another starship's sensors, therefore we would not be in violation of the Algernon Treaty.
Yeah, part of it is visual, but there are also other parts such as hiding, warp travel, and so that the treaty specifically covers that you're going to be fine with doing a cloaking just with a visible light.
Not to mention, we're pretty confident they don't have any sort of in-depth scanning technology that we're trying to fool.
Not from what we've seen from their level of development, although the Zeppelins are a strange anomaly.
Possibly built to capitalize on the electromagnetic eddies.
That's true. What if they're flying via magnetics? That'd be interesting. Oh, I want to get my hands on one of those.
And this is why Mazaka's coming down, because you're gonna have to drag him away from trying to pull one apart.
All right, Commander. Let's make ourselves an invisible jet.
Oh, yeah, I'm suddenly imagining that Family Guy sketch. Oh yeah, I'm actually in the bathroom right now.
Not that invisible. Gross.
If you just hold still and eat slowly enough, you will effectively be invisible.
No, Jack,
Okay, no more. Yeah, no more references to that. Somebody might be watching this who hasn't seen it yet.
All right. Let's do this. So I'm assuming that would be like what, a control engineering.
Yeah. So it'll be control engineering. I'll give the ship.
All right, we're gonna need a montage.
Montage. Still trying to figure out the ship. It's not going to be. Let's not communications. Computers, maybe computers engineering.
Okay. And I'm gonna have Kachara assist because, damn it, I need the entire engineering staff on this shit.
It'll be a difficulty 3 check.
That's why I'm getting the engineering staff on this.
And
Bazaka's also taking a momentum.
okay.
Go for it.
Yep. And he does have a thing in ship design, so I'm assuming that focus applies.
Small craft.
Yeah, or small craft. Yeah, both.
I'm gonna say the small craft because it's more about manipulating the details of the small craft than ship design.
All right, so Bazaka's gonna roll,
Got the 3.
and then Kachara was of no use.
And someone roll for the ship computers engineering. Oh wait, yeah.
I think our good tactics has that. If not, I'll do it.
I think he's stepped away for the moment, so go for it.
Oh, okay. And you said it was
Computers
engineering?
Yep. Okay, so that is you get the momentum back.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
Gotta spend it to make it.
So as you Kanchara and the rest of the engineering team get down to work, there's a yell as you can telling someone to make like a frequency modification to select the deep dish, and suddenly there's the shuttlecraft. Or are you going into a Danube?
It's Danube. Captain's orders.
Okay, so as the Danube, not Danube.
Oh, I thought we were taking the Irma, one of the runabouts.
Yeah.
That's the Danube.
I see the Irma and the Boulder.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
think we're doing it to the Irma.
yeah, the Irma just vanishes before you. Your scans detect it in every other way, but it's just invisible.
Wait, you know what? I changed my mind. It's gonna be the Boulder because I would be remiss if I didn't make a Baldur's Gate reference at some point during this.
Yes.
Okay, then the boulder is invisible.
And we shoo away the engineers that are doing the mime trick.
Mm-hmm.
Leaning against it, just kind of like,
Except for the one who is legitimately like trapped on the inside. And we apparently made one room invisible.
All right. While he's doing that, the rest of the crew is getting ready for their excursion, getting some period era outfits, some equipment, some surreptitious equipment. I'm assuming Safon is going to show us how to hide our more advanced equipment under our clothes so they won't be seen, and preferably not checked by, in case of pat down or something.
All the buckles start clicking.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our technical officer is still not back, so...
Yes, he is.
Oh, there he is.
Alright, so...
I was distracting him with questions, I'm sorry.
No, I muted my microphone when I went AFK and forgot to unmute it. So.
Not big.
Alright, let's... can everyone do a control security check for me to see how well they hide their stuff?
Okay. I have collaboration security. Let me look at how that works.
So you can give your security value to other people and give them a focus as well.
It's a talent.
Oh, okay. No, I mean the what's to give your security thingy? So it's a value and a focus.
The value of the it's a discipline, whatever your security discipline is, and a focus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if if there's a price tag attached to that ability.
Let's see. There should be in general talents.
Oh, no, whenever an ally attempts a task using that discipline, you may spend 1 momentum to allow them to use your score for that discipline in one of your focuses. So it does cost a momentum.
So who has the worst security among us?
I have a 2.
I also have a 2.
I've got a 3.
I'm a 3 as well.
Okay.
So 2 momentum for 2 doctors.
Down to 1 momentum.
I don't know if it can be done for both of us, but...
It doesn't say it can, it's just a momentum spend.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it says control security, right?
Control security, yes.
Uh-huh.
So with
infiltration focus applies?
with infiltration and a security of 5.
4.
4, sorry.
4?
Okay. Given that I've actually done anthropology outings before, could I use my anthropology focus?
I will.
Like,
Yes,
has anyone
I
on the
will
crew
allow
done
that.
any kind of? Has anyone else on this crew done any kind of excursion like this?
Nope.
Yeah, cool.
What was the difficulty on that, 2?
I haven't told you the difficulty of it.
God! I roll like shit.
Hey, I got 1 success.
Okay.
I'm just seeing like Ted is like wearing it like upside down.
I never thought I missed my uniform.
Alright, so everyone's rolled. Everyone looks fine except Captain, you've got actually a pretty obvious bump in your backside where something is.
You know, screw it, screw the robe. I'm just gonna go like this.
With your tail?
Again, there's people down there that are so unusual. I don't think I'll stand out much, especially in a port town.
Alright.
I mean, unless we suddenly have a holographic belt or something.
That hasn't been invented yet.
I rolled really well though. What was the difficulty?
He didn't say.
I didn't say. It'll come out in play.
But I always roll so crappy.
Well, it has to be a 1 because I succeeded.
Well, I didn't say didn't say you succeeded. I didn't say you failed.
Ugh.
Said it looked fine.
It is what it is.
So
That being said, I do want us to wear pattern enhancers in case we need an emergency beam out.
okay.
But no. The pattern enhancers are large poles right now, still, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
We're gonna put some on the boulder.
You know what? I want to do something. I want to disguise the pattern enhancers like they're logs.
What about, hold on, what about transponders, like Star Trek 6?
Well,
I think those
those
are only community. Those are only community.
Yeah,
They're not.
never mind.
Oh, what we could do is we could disguise them as like tubes, like luggage.
Yeah, like logs, like Mizaka suggested.
Well, I was thinking he was thinking more of a staff thing, right?
Well, I was thinking that, you know, if they look like logs, we can literally like set them up and they won't look too suspicious.
I was thinking something we could carry around, carry around town.
Yeah, I carry them on my back with a bunch of other logs, and it just looks like, you know, like those like log backpacks that like woodcutters used to carry.
Then yeah, okay, let's do that.
All right, you can basically 3D print. I'm not gonna make you roll. You basically 3D print fake log coverings for the pattern enhancers.
Just replicate them.
Yeah.
Just replicate them, and then I replicate a couple of equal logs, and
All right, so you're flying down, are you? You're all done with the preparation?
I think we've gotten as far as we can.
Okay, so who is actually flying the shuttle?
Me. That's my thing.
Okay, Mzaka, do your control con.
Okay.
With the Danubes, with the boulders, sorry. Engines con.
And just a refresher, my small craft focus.
Let me double check. I need to see how it's worded again.
Specifically.
Ground design, yeah, it's specifically designs.
Okay. Well, what's the difficulty?
The difficulty will be just one.
Okay. I'm not gonna spend momentum then.
Didn't need it. Boom.
Yeah. All right, someone roll the boulder and don't ruin it.
Not me, because I've been rolling like crap tonight.
I'll roll it. What am I rolling here?
Control con, engines con.
Engines con.
Okay,
Got it.
got a success. You're back up to 3 momentum.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you, whereabouts do you want to be, like, land? What kind of area?
It's still, since we're gonna be invisible now, what we need to do is just keep ourselves from like burning up any atmosphere. So we're gonna go pretty slowly. During that time, I'm gonna talk to everybody about what do's and don'ts on the anthropological mission on a pre-contact planet and pre-industrial planet.
Another TED Talk.
Basically. Mostly be careful about what food you eat. Some you can't scan, so make sure you get a small. You do like a bit of a taste test. Be careful about the water.
I'm sorry, I can't scan?
Well, you can't bring out a tricorder. Especially if someone's watching.
There's like a long pause. Like Lasan definitely looks like they're regretting coming on this trip.
You remember that people used to do science without a tricorder, right?
Yes, I do, but my tricorder is adapted due to my vision.
That's understandable. Unfortunately, as it stands, that we can't risk having too much. We can't risk exposing too much outside influence to this culture.
I turn around from my seat and go, Doctor, switch tricorders with the science officer. You can palm the dongle, I assume.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
What?
We probably have another medical triporter on board the Walter.
Yeah, the little Schultz seeker thing.
Yeah, I'd go over to a medical kit and pull out a second medical tricorder. Boom, there you go.
All right, this will be fine.
Yeah, part of the idea is to limit our space age culture contact. We don't always have to blend in, but we probably shouldn't try to be too much to seem like universal outsiders.
Off-worlders.
Exactly.
And what happens?
Not alien.
And what happens if that goes awry?
Running.
Lots and lots of running.
Great.
In my experience, running.
And a very detailed report to Starfleet Command.
Yeah, they're gonna love that. So let's not do that.
All right.
But mostly the idea is we're just here for fact gathering and just for a cultural study, and maybe see if we can get some idea on how those airships work.
All right. So you land inside the forest. There's a bit of a small clearing that you can use to land the boulder down on. Pardon me.
I'm assuming we brought some like a couple of security guys wearing gold to like guard the ship.
If you want to,
If no one can see it, why would that be an issue?
Yeah,
In case someone stumbles into it.
we're gonna lock it.
Yes, but if someone walks into an invisible thing.
They'll think they have stumbled across a ghost or something. It's fine. Okay, you can set it to hover like 10 feet up in the air, right?
No. Not an autopilot.
Why not? You should be able to do that.
Because I wouldn't be able to get it down.
You have a tricorder, you have a communicator.
You have a transporter.
That more likely.
I'm saying we exit the ship and then we program it to hover up in the air, and then when we need to, we can just, use a macro to have it come back down.
Okay, you got me here.
I think it can handle 24 hours being up in the air. Instead of warp core, come on. Sorry, are we rolling for that, or are we just gonna do that? That's what I was wondering.
You better do a check for that. So that'll be reason engineering, actually control engineering. Sorry, and the boulder will assist with a computer's engineering assistance. You'll have a focus.
I'll have my focus. Okay.
Is it computers engineering?
Computers engineering for the boulder.
What was the difficulty on that?
The difficulty was 2.
Okay, so we succeeded.
So you've got it. There is a humming. You hear the engines going. It's not a loud sound, but it is noticeable in this area where you are.
Maybe another 15 feet.
All right, so it becomes like a faint, ominous general sound of the area. It's not something that that is pinpointable and not immediately identifiable as far as you can go.
That's almost worse, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, can we bring it down and kill the engine and just hope no one runs into it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Make sure it's not on a road, and chances are very slim.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere. We just have to watch out for like the random hunters.
Or bandits or whatever.
We
Did anyone like replicate a sword or anything, just in case?
Nope.
Sword.
Like a staffs.
You know what? Yes, I replicated some staffs when I replicated.
Okay. For that, I will need you to spend 2 momentum to create that after the fact.
That's fine.
I thought that was only 1 momentum for a spend like that.
Created advantages too.
Okay.
Yeah, stabs are much more innocuous.
Okay.
Or we could just go find a stick.
Feel like I've spent the momentum already.
That's the doctor just being Dr. Common Sense.
Ours are nice and fancy. They're carved.
Alright, so we're out.
Plus, they're made of better stuff than a stick. They won't break the first time you hit someone in the head with it.
Yeah, they just look like
hit him
sticks.
you only need to hit him in the head once. Then you punch him and then they're out. It's good.
I don't actually need a stick. Stefan is
Stack.
confident in his hand-to-hand abilities.
I wouldn't mind a stick.
I am not taking a stick.
So the stick will just mean you will do more damage if you need to hit someone.
Vicious, humiliating properties.
You could use one for walking anyway.
Can I get
Alrighty.
everyone to do a security insight check for me?
Oh no, it's a perception roll. Alright, does anyone have any applicable focuses?
Observation.
Yeah, does observation come into play?
Observation will come into play.
What was that? What was the roll again?
It's an inside
Inside
security.
Inside security. Okay.
Oh no. Oh wow. Yeah, that's typical for me.
Hey, I actually did okay.
Alright, so you start to hear off in the distance this unusual whirring. You look up into the sky and see this slightly rusted, just giant metal thing hanging in the air. It is slowly coming towards you.
I'm gonna look around. Is there anyone sort of nearby, like who can actually kind of get a pretty good look at us? I put the cloak and hood back on just in case.
As far the only thing people or sign of people you can see is the ship. There is no one.
Let's get a scan of that.
I'll do the scan, but I'm gonna do it from behind a tree.
Good plan.
So I take it you will get out of the clearing under the tree.
Yeah, out of the canopy.
Under the canopy.
Can I also get a scan?
Yes, I will say, I will give you an assist.
I'm assuming, well, I want to probably do a different kind of scan than Mizaka's doing.
Alright, Mzaka, you can do a reason engineering.
Okay.
This will be a difficulty, difficulty 2.
Okay. Would my ship design apply here? Because
yes, I will allow that.
Alright. Darn.
And Thesaurus, would you like to do your reason science?
Yes, I want to know. I would like to know what kind of people are potentially flying this.
Okay.
Yeah, that was almost a complication.
It will be the same. It'll be a difficulty 2 reason science check for you.
Alright. Do I have something that applies for a focus?
Probably not, but let me just double check. Observation. Just because you've got observation and analysis in this case, I will give it.
Alright. You said this is difficulty 2?
Difficulty 2.
Mind if I take one for cautious?
Take it.
Go for it.
Reroll.
Of course!
Reroll.
That's what cautious is for.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so you got your momentum back. You are seeing about 12 people so in this large metal thing, which is particularly rather sparse. But they're all the basic human looking ones. You don't detect any of the other group.
Alright, I will let people know.
You will also get a free question, so if you want to ask that as well.
Does it seem like the ship is armed?
You are not, apart from whatever propulsion, which you're not sure is, you're not getting any signal of energy weapons.
Alright.
There doesn't look to be anything on it.
I was going to say no energy weapons. No, that's fine. That's not what we're worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried about like crossbows and stuff.
You're not seeing anything attached to the exterior of the hull that you believe would be a weapon.
Nice. Okay, cool. Alright, does it seem... Oh, I can't ask that. Never mind.
So is it heading in our direction because of us, or is it just heading in our direction because we just happen to land in its path?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Any idea how it's doing that there, Commander from Saga?
I guess I would need to roll for that again.
yeah, you can give me another roll. I'll let you do another roll. This time, actually,
Okay.
it'll be a difficulty 3.
I'm spending that last momentum then.
Go for it.
Whoa!
We got it back.
Got it back.
+2.
Alright, so, yeah, it is... The propulsion system is definitely magnetic. You're not... There is a slight rotating cylinder inside. But you're not... that's generating some kind of magnetic repulsion against the ground. But
Hey, it's got a dynamo?
What the hell? Captain, you're gonna want to take a look at this.
I'm gonna go take a look at that. That's,
there does seem to be a very basic electrical circuitry in there. It's thick copper wire pretty much, but it's very basic.
We landed on planet Steampunk Leonardo.
That is outside the usual realm of technological development for what we've observed so far.
But not a surprising adaptation to the electromagnetic eddies we came to investigate.
Unless they were caused by whatever advancements this culture has achieved. Like some kind of form of pollution?
Dr. Sar, can I get you to scan the alien life form, see if they have any electromagnetic abilities? If this is something that they're naturally able to harness, it would likely explain this.
Okay.
A planet full of
Yeah,
magnetos.
do we have, we don't have anybody that's near for me to, like, surreptitiously scan, do we?
You
No,
can
they're all
try to do
on
it
a-
from range. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult to do it from range, but you could try.
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I'll try, yeah.
So
I'm going to assist because I'm going to help by triangulating my tricorder into theirs.
Okay, so it's a difficulty 4 check, and I'm going to be spending a threat to increase the complication range.
Okay.
So 2 complication range.
Okay. And then I'll take a momentum. Would it be control medicine or insight medicine? Reason medicine.
It's not control.
It's reason for
I
scans.
would say reason.
Reason
Yeah.
for scans. That's right.
I would allow
Use-
insight or I would allow insight, but I'll leave that up to you as well.
Yeah, is for me it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Can I use my xenobiology focus?
You can definitely use your xenobiology focus.
Okay.
Focus on the Xenos.
And I assume I'm assisting with reason engineering.
Reason engineering. I'm not going to say you have a focus.
Okay, kind of figured.
Okay, you get the form. They don't seem to be actually. From what your scans are telling you, they actually seem to have somehow controlled and contained one of the eddies inside the ship. It's not a biological adaptation of the
So they-
species, but they've managed to somehow put an eddy in there.
So they're using eddies like the Romulans use singularities?
That's what it seems like.
We are so getting one of these things.
Oh, I want to tear this one apart and look at it.
Alternatively, may I suggest reverse engineering the technology?
That's the idea. You need to find out what they're using for money and buy one of them. Bring it back to Narendra.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, gentlemen.
I'm merely thinking about what this could do for our exploration of Shackleton. I mean, if we could contain the eddies, we could basically create like lightning rods for them.
Well, those are gravitational. This is electromagnetic. Those are two those are dissimilar forces at work here.
The eddies in the Shackleton Expanse are electromagnetic, but there's
I
there's
thought they were
more to
gravitational.
there's a bit more to them than just there is a gravitational element to them as well. It's not just one
okay.
thing.
Then yeah, no, this would be pretty interesting. Good idea. All right, then.
I mean, a warp core can counter the gravitational effects. The electrical one's the problem.
Yeah.
So shall we venture forth?
Yes, let's.
Okay, so which way are you going?
Have we gathered our party first?
You have gathered your party enough.
Everyone must gather our party before venturing forth.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll gaggle hard that way.
Okay.
Alright, everyone remember where we parked.
Can I get someone to do a leading role to navigate through the forest? So it'll be someone. What will it be? It'll be control. Say control. It'll be science or command. I think.
Wait, what is it? Control command?
Or science.
Yeah.
I've got a 5 command, so.
So
I've
that
got a 5 science and I have survival.
a
And I've got
survival.
anthropology.
So
No, that's more of a cool
yeah,
thing. This is
yeah.
more just,
So
yeah.
survival will be a focus that will apply in this role.
Can I use my keen hearing to get an extra die just so that I can use my ears to help navigate? Since this is kind of a vacation thing when we're in the wilderness.
Like, how are you going to Are you going to hear where the town is, or how are you going to navigate?
Well,
with hearing?
that among other things, like if I hear a river, I'll be able to orally detect its orientation to us and so forth, so that I can direct us to where we need to go.
Yeah, settlements always generally occur near rivers.
Okay. You know what? I will allow that, even though it's going to be an assist. I will allow you to roll 2 dice on the assist.
Yeah.
Alright, so focus applies.
It's going to be a difficulty 2 check.
Alright. And you said I can use science for this, right?
Yeah. Control science.
Do I want to use cautious? Yes. Can I
Yes.
use one
Yes,
cautious?
always
Yes.
cautious.
You are probably going to end up with a whole lot of momentum after this one.
Yeah, that's 6.
Wow, okay. So that is
Very nice.
You're back up. You're up to
7.
5 momentum.
Alright.
From 1.
And,
Alright.
yeah,
Misaka and I are just like, oh yes, somehow we know exactly what to do here.
So you guys managed to get a good idea of the general topography of the area. Misaka is hearing a slight creek there, and he points that out, and you remember, oh, there was this river that was leading down, and just all these little information that you guys pick up along the way that you're able to manage to lead to what actually it's on the coast, but it's basically just looks like a castle on the coast.
So before we continue on, I would like to spend a point of momentum to make a narrative change.
Yes.
A very slightly one. I'm going to have Misaka every 100 feet make a marking in one of the trees, in the direction that we're going towards. Can't speak. So that we can find our way back to the shuttlecraft.
I will allow you to create an advantage with that. So if you want to spend 2 momentum to do that,
Yeah, I'll do it.
okay. And unfortunately, that's about all the time we're gonna have. For now, I mean, it's
Oh, no.
10 minutes, but this is going to be a pretty good space to stop for now. So you come up to the castle. It's got walls. There are ports on the other side that you can't quite see, but
it's only a model.
it's only a model, and